He is officially the head coach at Manhattan. John Gallagher, former Hartford coach, has been with us on the show back the last couple of years on the tournament. Also, when they played Baylor, as I mentioned, back in 2021, he got a dose of Baylor in their national championship run. John, thanks for being on the show. Paul Craig, David Smoke, congratulations on this opportunity. When did you feel like this was yours and it was your job?
You know, I felt like it was coming together probably Monday, after I met with the president. I felt I had a good shot at it. I thought, I've interviewed for a couple of these out there this year. I think it was clear that Manhattan was really what I wanted because it really fits me, the tradition. Steve Lapis, Fran Fraschilla. If we look back, Fran Fraschilla in '95 beat Oklahoma. The great tradition of the MAC Conference, the great coaches in the MAC Conference. It's a great league. It's a great coaches league. It's a great players league. I can't tell you. I'm just so excited.
Well, it's got a lot of, in the league, you've got teams that advance in the tournament. I mean, St. Peter's in the league. All of those teams, it's a step for you up into another level. What did you think about joining this league and being a part of someone that's made some noise here recently?
Well, the tradition in the league with all the teams, but especially Manhattan itself, I spoke with both Coach Lapis and Coach Fraschilla. There's just great tradition. People care. The alumni base cares. I'm gonna coach the same way, the same energy, and try to connect the fan base in the same way.
Coach, in your time away from being a head coach, I know not a super long period by any means, but how has that helped shape you, change you as both a person, as a coach? What has kind of been the learning process in figuring yourself out and figuring out your future over these last few months?
It became clear just watching the game, 10 games a day, watching all the films, studying it, talking to guys every day, Porter, Moser at Oklahoma, Stevie Donahue at Penn, all my friends, David Patrick at Sacramento State, watching the late night games. And, I really have a clear idea of what I'm bringing into the kitchen on what I'm trying to make in the kitchen. I'm not going shopping, making ingredients that maybe in my earlier days as a coach, I know what wins. Shot selection's a huge thing I studied this year. How we're going to defend. If you look at our teams, one of our team was number one in the country at defending the three. The other finished 8. There's certain things we did defensively that we emphasized. We got to continue to do that. But the thing that came clear to me is if you take poor shots, it puts your defense at such peril.
John Gallagher, Manhattan, the Jaspers basketball coach with us on 365 Sports. John, I would be remiss if I didn't bring this up. I've seen some reaction to me putting up that you were going to join us on the show after the Manhattan Twitter account that said you were the new head coach, and there does seem to be some mending that you might have to have there. Rashawn Storrs, the assistant coach, was obviously a popular figure. What have you thought about how you will make sure everybody is a part of this program?
First off, you know me, and you guys know me. I understand it. Guess what? There's a healing process. He was a great player. He's a great person. He did a good job. I get it. There's no, I have great respect for him. And, I called Steve Masiello. I have great respect for Steve. He did a great job there. Basketball's hard. We're in this coaching community. We must, there's no me versus you. There's only one team, and that's coaches for coaches. So I get it. I understand it. I'm just happy to be the basketball coach in Manhattan. We're going to recruit great players, and we're going to represent the university in the right way.
There's one thing for certain. The history has not been very consistent. There was the NCAA Sweet 16 in the late 50s. There have been handfuls of tournament appearances, the most recent back-to-back in 14 and 15. What do you think, or what have you been told by others that might have been lacking?
Well, here's the thing. It's in the best city in the world. This is a relationship job. You gotta get guys that understand what a Manhattan is. You come for the people, not coming for the bells and whistles. And that's what Fran Fraschilla told me. And Fran told me, look, you gotta recruit it hard. You gotta hit the portal hard. You gotta know what Manhattan is. And, the LaSallian way, it dates back with my father back in, 1969 when he graduated from high school with the Christian Brothers. There's a certain way. I feel comfortable in it. I'm excited about it. And to everybody out there in the fan base, I love Manhattan, and I'm just so excited to be your coach.
How much, does it – I mean, you're a Northeastern guy.
Yep.
You're Delco, Philly, all that you were in Connecticut, and now that you have this base that where the fruit lies in that region as far as getting guys in the program.
Yeah, I have 12 years of the experience. There's not, first off, I know what type of player will fit in Manhattan. I worked at LaSalle University for 5 years. Similar type of player we have to get. High level. If you're a starter in Manhattan, we feel like you can play anywhere in the country. And that's what we feel. So that's the guys we're going to recruit. And I think whether it's the New England prep schools, whether it's the Catholic schools in New York, we're going to be everywhere. And we got to find the right guy that fits Manhattan College.
When will you call Scott Drew for a non-conference game against Baylor?
Tomorrow when I get to Houston.
Oh my
Let's
God.
go, baby.
Yeah,
Let's go.
Well, we have to do that. Does what we see at Florida Atlantic, what we see, and I know San Diego State and obviously Miami, large schools, and then what we see, of course, UConn right there in your backyard, and they've had the tremendous history, a younger version of a blue blood. But what we saw this year with the tournament, Princeton, et cetera, does that even give more hope and even more of an opportunity to dream at places like Manhattan?
I met the team today, and I talked about dreaming. I did talk about dreaming. And I think one of the things that we all have to do is realize what an inspiration all those teams are. And that's how college basketball is different. And we're not college football, and we can do it. And we are in a place where we have to believe it to achieve it. If you don't believe it, you're never going to achieve it. So we're a program that's had great tradition, and we got to continue it. We're really going to have to work day and night and tirelessly to get it done.
So now that you're a New Yorker, do you have well thought out, positions on pizza so that you don't fall into the trap that so many others have before?
I'll do. I'll find out what the best places are.
You gotta be careful. Look, it undid the mayor there. Ate it with a knife and fork. You don't want to be there, Coach.
No, I can't do that. I can't do that. So we'll figure that out. That's something that is probably the top of my list.
John, you mentioned you talked to the team. What was the reaction from them?
I thought they were great. And, we're going to have individual meetings next week, and we got to dive into it. We got to figure out. And listen, I'm here to help them. I'm not here if some of them want to leave. I'm here to help you find your dream. That's what I'm here to facilitate your dreams. And I would love for everybody to stay. At the end of the day, they have a lot of seniors, a lot of grad seniors. So we do have a lot of turnover, and we got to support them in their dreams.
So you have to recruit, like everybody. I mean, Scott Drew has to do this, and UConn will have to do this, and everybody has to re-recruit those who are eligible to play basketball even longer, right? Is that like a number one?
Team in the country is going through it. Every single team in the country, maybe with the exception of the Ivy League. That's it. Every team is going to be dealing with the transfer portal of the rest of basketball.
Sometimes when there's a change like this, and I'll bring Rick Pitino into it with what he said when he took the job recently, is that some people talk about, well, players may want to leave, but there also have to be matches for what you want on whether they stay, correct?
Absolutely. I talked to Bob Walsh, the assistant at St. John's, this morning about it. St. John's, I think, has 2 or 3 guys on their roster right now. And some of it, I'm telling you, if you probably asked Rick, Coach P would say, this is good for us. And I think you have to look at it like, all right, who's out there that fits Manhattan College? And that's what we're saying every day right now.
All right, so who wins this weekend?
Whoa. I just think UConn right now is firing on all cylinders. Danny has them ready. I ran into Danny the other night. I was picking my daughter up at soccer, and his favorite restaurant, I saw him there. So we were talking about it, and I in January they had a 5-game losing streak, and I went on a podcast and said they're going to make the Final Four. So I was teasing him that he made me look really good, and I just think they're the team right now. The way they look, the way it feels, they're going to be a hard out because of their depth.
John, thank you. Congratulations. Good luck with all of what you will face when you're there. We're happy for you. Thanks for being a part of the show. And just because you now are at Manhattan, that doesn't mean you get to escape us in any way down the road.
This is our 3rd year together.
Yes.
Not our first rodeo, okay? So the 4th year will be – make sure you guys hit me in November of next year because I love being on your show. You're all first-class guys, and I can't tell you how much I appreciate you reaching out during this time.
When will you meet with the local media in that area? Because I know you're in Houston, right?
Yeah, next Wednesday.
Okay, all right, because I had some
11 a.m. Wednesday, I'll meet with the media and anybody. We've tried to reach out to people. It's I think who is it? The Brooklyn's playing and the Knicks are playing. So it's tough time with the media. Next Wednesday will be a great day.
All right. Enjoy Houston. Enjoy the Final Four and the championship Monday night. Congratulations, John. We appreciate your time as always.
Thank you, guys.
John Gallagher, the new head coach at Manhattan. And let me